Hello guys, and welcome to Kerbal Space Program. This is well, it's not new. This has been out for a long time, but, well, it was recently bought for me from a friend, and, man, have I been enjoying it. It's really fun. It's like a space control Kerbal Space Program. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's what it says. Anyway, for those of you who have played this game, or who own it and are just starting out, I am going to make a tutorial on how to get to the moon for your very first time. I'm going to show you how to make a ship, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to just resume the save game. So let's go to the vehicle assembly building here. Now, the first thing you're going to want to use is the Command Pod Mark 1. Now, this is, I mean, you can choose anything you want, really, but I'm going to show you guys my particular build. Actually, let's show you this real quick. Now, what I did is I went over here. Some of the tutorials didn't work on my end. I don't know why, but I tried playing the tutorials and some of them didn't work, so this was a lot of trial and error for me. Now, this is a default ship in the game when you buy it. I basically used this design as my template. If you notice, it has 6 rockets on the end that help propel it, and you get rid of those, and it has these little decouplers that send these flying off after they run out of fuel. If you'll notice, these little fuel lines here this one provides fuel to this one. So this one's going to be the first one to run out of fuel, and then this one, and then this one, and then all those provide fuel to the middle engine. So we're going to use this template and make our own ship. So I'm going to use the Command Pod Mark 1. This holds one of your little Kerbin guys. Are they called Kermans or Kerbinites or something? I don't know. Anyway, Command Pod Mark 1. If you use your scroll wheel, you can zoom up and down on this. So we're going to put it up here because you never know how tall your ship may be. So we're just going to start up here. In fact, we'll do it up there. Okay. Now, first things first, you want to go to Utility, and you want to make sure that there's a parachute, because obviously if you decouple like everything else, and this is falling, you don't have a parachute, your little Kerbin guy's going to die. You don't want that, so I'm going to choose the MK16 parachute. Make sure it connects like that, so you gotta make sure it's green. So there. Now, our little Kermit guy has a Kermit? They sort of look like Kermits if you think about it. Anyway, your little Kerbal guy is gonna have a safe way down. So next, we're gonna go over here to I think it's structural, yeah. And you go to the TR18A stack decoupler. I'm gonna put that right there. Then we're going to go over to Control and put an Advanced SAS module. What that does, this decoupler is going to, basically whenever you get to this point, like whenever you press spacebar, it's going to basically shoot everything below it off of this. So this is going to be the final thing that decouples from everything else. Anyway, SAS module, what that does is it helps you control your ship better. Basically, if you're shooting into outer space and you lose control of your ship, it starts like swerving, turning in and out, and all that stuff. You press a button, and it will gain control again. So what I do next? Okay, that's what the SAS module does. Sorry about the pause there. My wife came in and gave me a Rice Krispies treats thingy. So, yummy. Okay. Alright, that was unprofessional. Okay, next we're gonna go to propulsion here, and we're gonna choose the FLT400 fuel tank. That's all we need for this up here, because this is gonna be like its own little thing once we get it shot into space and to the moon, or the mun as it's spelled anyway. So, alright. Then you put that tank on there. Now, we're going to just use this LV909 liquid fuel engine. This one has thrust vectoring enabled, and it will get you where you need to go. It'll let you land. It's like a lander. This is your lander that we're making here. So this will be landing on the moon. Of course, what do you need to land? It's in utility. Hit the next page. No, sorry. Yeah, here it is. LT1 landing struts. You need landing gear. So obviously you can't land with one. So if you go over here to the symmetry mode, you can either click it. See how it shows 2 there now? So it'll make 2. What we want is we want 4 of them like that. See? Another way to do this is just press the X key. Like watch. See the X key? If you press the X key, it'll make the symmetry mode change. I'm also going to enable snapping because we want a symmetrical ship. So we're going to put the landing gear about right there. There we go. Now we got some landing gear on our little lander. And next, we're going to go to... Oh yeah, we're going to stay in utility. Go to the next page. And we're going to select this Telis LV Bay Mobility Enhancer. It's a ladder, basically. Let's turn off symmetry mode to single symmetry mode. There we go. Now, if you look real close at your command pod, see this? This is the door. That little square thing right... I'm going to click off that for a minute. This is your door. And what we're going to do, and this is a ladder, your little Kerbal guy is going to come out of here and climb down this ladder. If we land this pod, he has no way of getting down, so we're going to add a ladder so he can get down. What you want to do is just add it right there's fine. Right on the front. Look at that. Now you got yourself a little ladder. We're almost done with the lander. So what we want to do next, you don't have to do this. I do this just in case you land on the dark side of the moon, because there's no guarantee you're going to land on the lighter side of the moon. So I'm going to choose the Illuminator Mark II, which is in your utility on the next page. And I'm going to place one right there, one right there, and one right there. It doesn't matter if they're even or not. They're going to just basically shed some light down on the ground where you land. So there is your lander. We have our first little part of our ship done. We could launch it just like this, but there's no way you can get to the moon with just that amount of fuel. You got to get it up into space and get into orbit and all that stuff. But all right, next thing, we're going to go to structural again. We're going to go down here and select another TR-18 stack decoupler. Put it right there. If you notice, I put it right, see the little, whenever you select it, see the little green sphere thing? It shows you can connect it right there. I know that's an engine there, but if you connect this decoupler here, it basically covers it up. So anything below this, once this decouples from everything else down here, then you can activate that engine, and then this thing will start flying. So it's not getting rid of your engine, it's just covering it up. So don't worry about that. Alright, next thing, we're going to select some more propulsion fuel tanks. We're not going to use any more of these because this only has 180 liquid fuel and 220 oxidizer. That's, like I said, that's enough for this to land on the moon and then get us back to Kerbin. So instead, we're going to use these FLT 800 fuel tanks. We're going to put 2 of them, just like that. There you go. So yes, that's a good little start. And also the LV T45 liquid fuel engine with thrust vectoring enabled. We're going to put that on the bottom. So there is what will be into orbit, and this is all we're going to have in orbit. So this is going to get us to the moon. Just this. So next, remember all the original ship we looked at? How it had all those little rockets on the side? We're going to start adding those now. So the first thing you need to do is go into structural and select this TT70 radial decoupler. This is what's going to attach the other engines around, and then whenever you press the spacebar button, it's going to decouple these and send them off flying. So it's just this. You'll see whenever the time comes. So we're gonna press X 1, 2, 3 times. So we have the quadruple symmetry mode. We're going to place it about right there so that the little top is even with that line there. Next, we're going to select another FLT 800 fuel tank. We're going to get another one of those, the same as these, and we're going to place it right on Then we're going to put another one, so that's 2. The one we looked at had 6, but we don't need 6 to get to the moon. This is plenty. In fact, I'm actually basing this off of the Final Fantasy VII rocket from Rocket Town, if you guys remember that. I just wish you could color it green. That'd be awesome. Alright, so that is that. Now, one thing you want to be careful of, actually we're going to go ahead and put this engine right here. This one doesn't have thrust vectoring, which is fine because we're going to use these LVT-30 liquid fuel engines and keep the symmetry on and put it right there on those 4. So basically these are going to be going anyway. These will run out of fuel and they'll be gone, so you don't have to worry about those. Alright, now go back to single symmetry mode, and when you're taking off, these, the way they are now, they're going to wobble all over the place, and they could potentially run into our ship, like clanging into each other and cause a huge explosion, and that's no good. And then our little Kerbal guy's going to die, or possibly he might live, who knows, but more than likely he would die. So what we're going to do is go into structural, go to the next page, we're going to click on these EAS4 strut connectors. These are awesome. Now, what you want to do is, since I'm in, well, you know what, let's go back into quadruple symmetry mode. Stay in quadruple symmetry mode, and we're going to place one right here, just like that. Alright, that's the first strut connector. Sorry, I had to stop the recording for a second there. Anyway, that's the first strut connector. Just connect from there to there, and that will hold those in place there. Don't worry about this strut, like going to the ladder, because these are going to disappear and the struts disappear with it. So we're going to place another strut. Start right here. Make sure you're in the quadruple symmetry mode. Click there, kind of move your view around so you can click there, and that's going to put those 4 struts just like that, if you notice. I think that should be actually, just to be extra safe, these struts don't weigh very much, so you can put another one right there and another one right there. Okay. Now if you notice, our ship looks like it can withstand flying into space like that. I think we're just about done. If you also remember, we're going to go back to propulsion and click on this FTX2 external fuel duct. If you remember the Kerbal X build, it had the little fuel ducts connecting each of these external rockets. So we're going to do that. We're going to start here, and just it's on the bottom because these 2 fuel tanks are connected now. That's basically one big fuel tank. So make sure you turn off symmetry mode. Make sure you're in single symmetry mode. That's important. Connect from there to there first, okay, and then we're going to select another fuel duct, come over here, and then connect that to the middle one. So this fuel duct is going to provide fuel to this, so this is going to be the first fuel, the first thing of fuel to run out of fuel, and then this will be the second, and then that'll provide fuel to this as well. So we're going to do the same thing over here and connect this one to this one, and then connect this one to the middle. So look at that, the shape it's making. It's making like a sort of like a Z shape. If you look at it, sort of like doot doot doot. So that's basically what that. Oop, well, that was weird. Okay, anyway, that's what that is. So now we got our ship pretty much ready for liftoff. I think it's just about ready. Oh, you know, I'm forgetting some of the most important parts. You have to make sure, see all these numbers and stuff in the lower right? I'm going to teach you how to use these too. This is very important. Now if you hover over it, like you hover over this button here, you see it, all these 4 engines highlight. Basically, whenever you press spacebar, it activates each of these in order, and it starts like in a T-minus fashion. So it's going to be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And this is going to be the last one, so it goes in order from bottom to top. Don't ask me why, but that's how it goes. Basically, whenever you press spacebar, these engines are going to ignite. We want the middle one to ignite too, so what we're going to do is select that and move it down, like that. Now they're all on the same number, 5. And also, whenever these run out of fuel, you want to drop them off because it's just extra weight. So what we're going to do is look at these decouplers. See right here? You click on this and it'll open up a little list. Make sure you deselect them all. You don't. If they're green, they're all selected. So if you hover over each one, you'll find out which ones are the decouplers you need. So that one and that one. Hold Control to select multiple items. Now you see I have those two selected. That one and that one. The reason why we're doing those first is because those are the ones that aren't connected to the middle tank. These are the ones connected to the middle tank. So these are going to be the first to go, if that makes any sense. I hope I explained that well enough. But so now that you have those selected, press the plus button and then drag them down. There, see? So basically it's going to ignite these engines. Then whenever you run out of fuel on these, you'll press spacebar again and these will decouple and fall. Then whenever these run out of fuel, you'll press spacebar again and these will fall. And then you don't press spacebar again for a while. Actually, looky here. Notice how this decoupler is right there, and if I hover over the engine, that's the same thing. You want to move the engine down to the decoupler so they ignite at the same time. Okay, just follow this. Trust me. Anyway, then we won't press spacebar again for a long time. So keep your finger off of it. I've many times pressed spacebar by complete accident, and then the whole mission was botched. So then we're going to use this. These will be gone, and then we'll use this to get to the moon, and this will probably run out of fuel around the time we get there, and then it'll just be the lander. So I think our ship is red. No, it's not. One more thing, guys. Click on Structural, go to the TT-18A Launch Stability Enhancers, and we're going to go into Quadruple Symmetry mode again, and then place them right on the edges of your ship. Now we want to move this ship down, so hold Shift and click anywhere on your ship, and then you can let go of Shift after you click and just move it down a little bit. Put it about right there. There. Now what these do is they hold your ship still while you take off. Obviously if you didn't have these and you went to the launch pad, this would fall and explode or fall over and destroy everything, so we don't want that. There is our ship. I believe we're ready to go. So we're going to name this ship now. Oop, I took a screenshot by accident. That's okay. We're going to name this the Moonlander. And yes, moon is spelled like that in Kerbal Space Program. So we're going to save our design. Alright guys, I went ahead and stopped and came back to the ship thing because I forgot one last thing. You're supposed to put these, select those and move those up so that they activate. Whenever you press spacebar, they activate at the same time as your engines. You don't want to make those like activate and your ship will fall and destroy itself. So yes, I'm glad I came back and did that. Save, Moonlander, launch. Clear launch pad, proceed. Alright, and welcome to the launch pad. Looks like it's nighttime, so we'll be launching during the night. And look, there's the moon. You can see the moon, or the mun, whatever. Alright, here we are on the launch pad. And there's our ship. Oh, yes. Oh, look, we have little Jebediah Kerman. He looks so happy. These buttons, if you don't know what they are, Eva sends him out of his pod. We don't want to do that yet. And this IVA sends you into his view. You can right-click and like look around, and oh, look, there's my little hand in my shoe. You look out the little window in the top. Just press C to get out of that, or you can press C to go in it. So C changes the view. Okay, now we're gonna get ready to launch. First things first. Remember the SAS module we installed? Just press T to activate that. That way your ship will control its stability as it's launching. Then we're gonna increase our throttle to max. Hold down Shift to do that. And here we go. And here we go. Remember these on the side I told you about? Once you press spacebar, these are going to activate. Here goes. And T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, and away we go. Check it out. We're headed toward the moon. Look at Jebediah, he's so happy. Look, we're already at almost 4,000 meters now. Zoom! Alright. We're still going, we're still going. I'm controlling my speed a little bit because I don't really like to go too fast because I think you're fighting gravity on the way up. Oh look, see those? Now press spacebar, and there goes the first 2 fuel tanks. Just like I said, right guys? Now, we're getting close to 10,000 meters. You can go ahead and deactivate your SAS now, and then start turning to about 90 degrees. I do this because I do it at about 10,000 meters because I like to start getting into orbit around Kerbin. So then press T again once you get around here. There we go. Now check us out. And the reason why I turn to the right along this way, along this path, this shows your, this is like your little orb thing. I turn to the right because that's the kind of even with the solar system, the way the solar system is rotating. Now unactivate your SAS and kind of follow your prograde here. Be careful, because you can lose control pretty easily. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to activate my SAS again and hit M for map. Okay, looks like we're doing good. Right now, see this blue path? This is our path right now. Basically, we're just going to go whoop and then plummet back down to Kerbin. We don't want that. Just keep heading in this direction and you'll eventually... Oh, did you hear that noise? These engines ran out of fuel, so press spacebar again. Boom. And there you go. Now, we're down to this. So, this is what's going to get us there, to Kerbin. So, press X to completely kill your throttle. Now, we're going to go and press M. Now, the best way to do this is to click here, add maneuver, and we're going to add to prograde, and that'll basically put us in orbit, like that. But we want to kind of... Well, no, that's good enough. Yeah, that's good. That's what we're going to do. So, once we get about here, we're going to click this button and move over to this blue point right here. We're going to try and get in orbit around Kerbin. Now, if you get to this blue point, that tells you basically, once you get to this point, hit it full throttle, right? Look, and there's a T-minus seconds right here. Boom. Hit the throttle, and then once this runs out, right here, you can stop. This is going to use a lot of fuel, which is why we had the 4 fuel tanks on the outside. Which is fine. We wouldn't be able to land on the moon with all this stuff on the bottom anyway. So we're going to go ahead and just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. If it was daytime, you would have been able to see Kerbin down there, but it's kind of dark. If you want to, you can click on your little lights you activated. Just right click, and then click lights on. I'm going to activate that one little light. Oh look, yay! It doesn't light up very much. It's more for them. Like right here, you're actually landed on the moon. That's what I put those on there for. Anyway, press M. Looks like we're almost there. If you notice, we are going to be orbiting Kerbin. And then press X. There we go. We're going to go ahead and press X on that maneuver and get rid of that. So, look, now we're in orbit. Hooray! Now we just gotta get on the moon. Where is the moon anyway? There it is. The moon's over here. So we're gonna have to wait until we get all the way over here to fly to the moon. So, how long will it take to get over here? About 14 minutes, it says? Yeah, 14 minutes. Basically, the best way to do this is to actually add a maneuver here. Oops, sorry. Add a maneuver here and then fully hit prograde, because then that'll send you flying way over there. And then you'll encounter the moon over here. But I kind of use my eye. I'll teach you a little trick that I found. So, get ready to wait 14 minutes, guys. I'm just kidding. If you hit period, you can go into a time warp mode. So now, as you see, time's going by a lot faster. Oh, look! We hit 75,000 meters. So now the space music has started. There it is, the moon. $11 million meters away. But here we go. We're just going to let our little ship kind of rotate around this thing here. Doop-de-doo, and look, we're going to be able to go, if you press M, you can go back and look, yay! Here's the light side of Kerbin. You can now see where you are. Yay! We're just kind of rotating orbit around space. Yay! Okay, press M. When you're a certain altitude from Kerbin, it'll only let you speed up time by only so much. Usually it's for the better, because whenever you're going in for a landing, you don't want to accidentally overshoot and then crash. So. Love this music. So nice, so relaxing. Alright, we are almost there. So what you're going to want to do is probably turn your ship around here. If you notice, I'm right here. So you want to turn your ship around. Deactivate the SAS, or else you can't turn your ship at all. See, this is retrograde. We want to go and point toward prograde. So we're going to go do that. Make sure our ship doesn't rotate. Oh, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put a RCS module on here. Damn, that would have helped us control our ship better, but that's okay. Alright, now that we're facing prograde, just like that, activate your SAS again by pressing T. Now, what I do is like aiming for the moon. You know how they say shoot for the stars, aim for the moon, whatever? Press period to start up your time warp. Now, if you notice, my ship's facing that way. Let's stop time warp. Go to map. So we're rotating this way. As soon as the moon comes in view, there it is. Just like that. Maybe a little bit more, just about like that. Once the moon, you can see the moon. I start. Oh, look, we're not in the right thing. Make sure you're aiming toward prograde. I would actually suggest using add maneuvers, but this is the way I like doing things. Check the throttle in. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to increase this all the way out here. And the reason why it's all the way out here is because by the time your ship actually makes it over here, the moon will have rotated around Kerbin to that point. So that's what we're doing here. So we're gonna just keep pushing that throttle. Looks good. There we go. Once it starts moving a little faster, you want to slow down your throttle a little bit. Slow down the throttle by pressing control. And boom! Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa. I messed up real bad there. Okay. But that's okay, because it looks like we're still going to hit the moon. We're still going to enter the moon encounter here. So that's good. This is freaking out. So definitely, that'll be fine. We'll have plenty of time. We're gonna enter right into the moon's encounter, into the orbit of the moon. So we're gonna go ahead and speed up time and get over there. Whee! Here we go in time warp. Gonna go in 1,000 time warp, 1,000 times time warp, and then we're gonna stop about right here, go back to this. Now, we're going to add a maneuver there. Whoa! Okay, maybe not. That seems to be messing up real bad, so let's just, okay, this is whenever F5 comes in handy. If you hit F5, it quick saves. Then you hold down F9 to load your quick save. So we're just going to hit the time warp. Let's do the time warp again. Alright, yeah, slow down here. Hit the 100 time warp here. Hopefully we get into that moon encounter. I don't know what the deal is with this thing. Look, in fact, we're in the moon's orbit from here all the way to here, so we'll be good. We're going to hit this. Now, make sure you don't overshoot. You don't want to overshoot too much. You want to go ahead and get past this point. There. Now we are in the moon's orbit. That's perfect, actually. So now we're going to use this to our advantage. If you look about right here, see this periapsis right here? We're going to click close to it, not completely on it, a little bit forward. Add maneuver. And then we're going to hit retrograde here. And that is going to get us orbiting the moon. Now, you want to be careful. In fact, we're going to try and get this evened out a little bit. There we go. Hit the retrograde some more. Hit that. See, you just got to adjust these little tools a little bit until you get the desired rotation or spot. So now that we have that set up, that is in 1 hour and 28 minutes. I hope you guys don't mind waiting that long. Just kidding! You can hit the period button and do the time warp again. Let's do the time warp again. Alright, slow down. Here it comes. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Okay, we're slow down here and rotate. And we're going to find the little blue marker on here. You got to find where the blue marker is in order to get this desired effect. So let's rotate around. There it is. It's right there. Slow down, slow down, slow down. There we go. Now, just keep aiming at that blue point, that blue marker. I'm going to activate the SAS controls. There we go. Now, we just got to hit full throttle when we get there. Now, how much fuel do we have left? Plenty. We got lots of fuel. Look, there's the moon. It's a giant crater. Cool. Alright. I was just thinking. Yeah. This is what I want to do. So, go ahead and hit period. And increase the time warp again. I'm not going to sing that no more. Get about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow down. increase a little bit because we're about to have to hit the throttle as soon as the timer goes down. You can see the timer down here too. So now, here we go. 7, 6, 5, 4, and comma slows down time warp, by the way. Throttle. Get ready to press X as soon as this empties. So look, here we go. Look at this. See this? See this, guys? And X. Perfect. That's just what we wanted. Now check it out. We still have plenty of fuel left, and we are rotating around the moon. Congratulations, we have made it to the moon. Now to land on it. So what we're going to have to do there is probably, we want to try and land on the light side of the moon so you guys can see everything. We're rotating this way. If you notice, we're going to be rotating clockwise from this view. So, here we go. We're going to get to about, let's add a maneuver. Let's get rid of this maneuver because this is just confusing me. There we go. Now, if you add a maneuver about right there, let's say, before the periapsis, let's hit the retrograde and try to get like that. Yeah, that we're gonna get that effect. You don't want to come in too fast. Like if you're like, it looks like you're skimming the moon. You don't want to do that because then it's kind of a little harder to stop. It's not impossible. It's just a little bit harder. So there we go. I think that's good. So as soon as we hit this point, we're going to hit the throttle on this blue dot here again. And then we're going to try and get our rotation to land on this light side of the moon over here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Whoa! Slow down. And boom. Alright. Now, let's get ready to hit the throttle at this point. So 3, 2, 1, and whoop, slow down. Speed it up just a tiny bit, get our seconds down to the 10-second mark, and there we go. Time warp back to 1%. Get ready to hit that throttle. 3, 2, 1, boom. Watch this empty, and X. Perfect. Now, how much fuel do we have left? We're almost out, which is fine. So let's go ahead and speed up time. We're going to go land on the moon. Alright, here we go. Now we're going to slow down the time warp. Go and press M. Now, deactivate your SAS. Oh, you know what? That always confuses me, that blue dot. So get rid of your maneuver first. Always make sure you do that, because sometimes that blue dot on here like really annoys the crap out of me. So what you want to do is go aim retrograde. Right here. This is your retrograde. Whoa. Slow down, buddy. Slow down. We're at 35,000 meters. We're still pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and try to use the rest of this engine, this fuel up that we have on this. So, look at us. We're heading right for the moon. So, go ahead and set the throttle up a little bit, not too much. You don't want your speed to slow down too much at this point. You're fine right now. We're just trying to use up the rest of this liquid fuel here. Oh, also activate your SAS, just in case. You want to keep a close eye on your retrograde. You want to make sure it doesn't move. Because if it does, then you've got to aim for it. I'm going to go ahead and throttle up a little bit. Slow us down. And should be running out of fuel here any minute. Look, see, the retrograde moved a little bit, so we gotta move. Okay, hit the throttle. I'm gonna. Oh, there we go. Ran out of fuel. So press spacebar. Press X because you don't want to be hitting the throttle just yet. There goes our debris, and now we're just on our lander. So aim retrograde. It's going to be a lot more touchy now. We're at 21,000 meters. So we're going to speed up time just a tiny tad bit here. There we go, and till about maybe 10,000 meters. Actually, no, this is good, 13,000. Go ahead and hit the throttle a little bit. I like to slow down to about 300. See, surface. Now it's switched to surface. So we're going to be fine. Activate the SAS because that's kind of hard to control a little bit. Alright, so we're about... There we go, slow down to about... Actually, I'm going to slow down to about 300 now because we're getting pretty low. Hit the throttle, full throttle. Slow down to about 200 meters per second here. Full throttle. There we go. Okay. Just kind of keep going. Okay. Once about 4,000 meters, just kind of keep slowing down. You want to keep... It takes a lot of practice, so you want to try and quick save when you're in orbit around the moon. So we're going to hit the throttle again. We're at 4,000 meters. We're going to slow down to about 100 meters per second. Deactivate your SAS, because that will cause you trouble. Make sure you keep aiming retrograde. 100 meters per second. It takes a little concentration here. Just keep slowing down. If you notice my speed and the meters I'm away from the surface, you don't want to be coming in too fast. Hit that retrograde. Make sure you keep on aiming at that retrograde. Whoa. Slowed down a lot there. Now, important, press G to lower your landing gear. Hit the throttle. We're lowering down to the moon. Oop. Alright, this is going to start going haywire, so you don't have to aim for it anymore. Just aim right in the center, and then press SAS. Now if you notice, we're just lowering straight down, so this was a perfect landing. Check it out, guys. So hit that throttle. Make sure you don't go too fast. You don't want to be landing too hard. Slow down to about 10. You don't want to, well, maybe about 5, yeah. So you don't want to be going too fast. And if you notice, I have plenty of fuel left to make it back to Kerbin, which will probably be next video. I'm going to go ahead and make this video just about landing on the moon. Oop. Don't slow down too much. Thankfully, there is some gravity on the moon, so... There you go, slow down. There, you can also look at your shadow to see how far you are from the ground. Boop! And there we go! You just mess with your throttle a little bit as you're lowering yourself down, and you got it! See, it still says 1,298 meters. I think that's sea level, but obviously you need to make sure you're watching very carefully. Check it out, guys! We made it, and we landed on the moon. Let's go ahead and activate our lights. Boop! Boop! And boop! Not that we need them, we're on the light side of the moon anyway. So, cool! Now, see, remember the little ladder we put here? If you right-click on that, click Extend Ladder. Cool. Ting, 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 ting. Look at Jebediah. He's so happy. He's so excited. Now you just left-click on your crew hatch, and then click EVA. Boop. And then press down, and down he goes on his ladder. And... you should let go. Press spacebar to let go if he doesn't. Yay! We made it to the moon. Isn't that awesome? We did it. He could have been lost forever, but we helped him. Look at Jebediah. He's so happy. He just doesn't know how to... He's speechless. He's just so speechless. Look, there's Kerbin. Jebediah, that's where you came from. But there you go, guys. That is how you land on the moon. Or a quick tutorial. It's a very nice beginner's tutorial on how to get to the moon. And believe it or not, guys, press M and zoom out. See, there's Kerbin, and there's the moon. If you notice, look. Oop, that's the Kriegsman. That's another ship of mine. If you notice, there's a, where is it? Oh, that is it. That's another, Minmus. There it is. Yeah, it's a planet, Minmus. But if you zoom out more, that is just... there's the sun. Look at all these planets you can explore. That was just the moon. Can you imagine going to, oh, Ilu? Wow. That's awesome, isn't it? Press M to go back to your little guy, Jebediah. You were very successful, and you will be celebrated among the Kerbal people. Yes, he will. It's basic controls whenever you're controlling the little guy. You can press spacebar to jump. Whee! If you press R, he'll activate his little jetpack, and you can press Shift to go up, Control to go down, and then of course, you know, left and right will send you flying. But if you use that too much, you might end up going really too fast and kill your little guy. So you don't want to be going too fast. Press R to deactivate it, and there we go. Cool. Well, why don't you guys tune in next time, and we'll have a quick little tutorial about how to get to the Kerbal. It's basically the same thing. You just take off here and send yourself slingshotting around the moon toward Kerbal, and you'll land, and you'll be a hero amongst the Kerbal people. Good old Jebediah. Alright guys, this is Skid. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more of this game, let me know. I really enjoy playing it, and would love to hear your thoughts and reactions to it. So, subscribe for more. I will probably be playing this more anyway, but yeah, so subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time. Say goodbye, Jebediah.